Okay. The- so they say that you don't break a bird's wings and then tell it to fly. In the same way that they say, people actually insult young people and then expect them to do their best. What is your advice for people doing that to their children right now?
Love and support. Don't, but don't smother them. Give them their space. Everyone needs space. Like, you don't want to be smothered every single second of the day by people hugging you.
But I want hugs.
Yeah,
I want to hug the child. And then,
but you don't want to be hugging them every single second. You need to give them their privacy.
smothering in that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they need emotional and mental support.
Like in what way?
Like, say, congratulate them on what they did. Say, you'll do better next time if they fail or do a mistake. Like, help them emotionally grow. Help them create their own coping mechanism so they don't need someone else, just like a therapist. Because if they have the right coping mechanisms, they can go through anything with a smile.
So, would you say that affirmations are a great way to actually build their confidence?
Affirmations, yeah, that would be a great way to build their confidence.
So, what are some affirmations you would suggest that they can use?
Hmm. I love and respect myself.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think. What else? I will do amazingly on this test exam and or task.
So,
And
would you use the words of I will or I am?
I am.
Okay, how come?
Because the word I am means you are already doing it. That makes your subconscious mind think, oh wait, I am awesome. I am doing amazing. I am learning faster. So it's basically just mindset training. And you don't want them to be one of the people who actually truly post on r/troll coping, because that sub rarely shows what people with bad coping mechanisms do.
Okay, and
It's
if you think about right now, there are a lot of young people that are stuck in the houses. There are parents who don't know how to help them. I mean, what advice would you give to them?
the parents or the people stuck in the
Both.
house.
Both. Because
So
remember, parents and children and young people are stuck in the house. So how can they best support each other? Because I think young people are expecting their parents to find out ways to make them happy and make life exciting for them. But what about parents that are stressed? I think it works both ways, don't you?
you should start reading books to your children, or just start reading books yourself. Picture books, short books, any type of book will work. Books that require interaction, like the the more you read, like there's this thing called VAK.
Mm-hmm.
It finds out if you're visual, audio, or kinesthetic. Kinesthetic people like movement, and they don't talk a lot, and they're a bit emotional. I am a kinesthetic, a visual. Now, visual people, they need pictures, they need images. So now you must supply them with, help them create the images in their mind if you're reading a book without pictures. Now, if you are talking with a person who is audio, then just choose a really long book. They like words and talking.
Okay.
Talk with them. Talk to about the book with them.
Mm-hmm.
So they get to talk themselves and don't just listen to you. And for teenagers, I'd say choose educational but fun games like Assassin's Creed. That'll give you some interesting history facts while being enjoyable for those.
Mm-hmm.
So Assassin's Creed that actually has the most accurate versions of like Italy, Europe, everywhere they are set in. They have so I need to tell you this quick little story for you to understand how sort of accurate it's like.
Mm.
If you if you get lost in Italy, you're heading to this church. You're in a group with some friends. You've played Assassin's Creed before. Now, this kid just started taking the teachers and the children down random roads in Italy to get to that one church they were trying to get to. And when the teacher asked him, "Have you been to Italy before?" He said, "No, I just played Assassin's Creed." That is like, that's how realistic it is.
Okay, so some parents don't even realize how much you're actually learning from all of these Xbox games and the PlayStation games. And if they actually took the time to understand the storyline and watched some of the stuff with them, they would have more meaningful conversations instead of just judging them and being rude and being sarcastic. Because I find that a lot of adults who don't understand will easily just demean or badmouth a child and tell them how useless they are instead of actually looking from their point of view and understanding from their point of view. So I think it works both ways because people are always talking about communication, but adults want communication to happen their way without understanding young people's needs and wants and desires. So, I mean, what you're saying actually does make sense. So, what other advice can you give to people?
Okay, if you're a parent, you should learn from what your children's hobbies are. Watch them, talk with them, ask them. Like, be more with them. You know how when you're reading a book or something, your child's like, "Ooh, what is that? What's happening?"
Hmm.
And then you explain it to them. Now, ask them that. Follow their hobbies as well. Learn from it. Even play video games with them if you want to. Now, if the child wants to play video games with friends but friends can't really come over, just play video games with them because then they'll have the social stimulation and they won't just get stuck alone sad. Now, if they have online games, just you can give them your space or you can talk to them about it.
So, but what happens if people don't have Xbox or PlayStation and they don't have access to books? What then?
Then just talk with them. Come up with ideas. Even this. Listen, if you have a T24 graphics calculator, you can make your own games. This is not a joke. People have done that before.
Okay, but that's now still in the gaming platforms. What about
Now,
cooking and things like that? Like
yeah.
other kind of
Now,
things? What's your
if you
advice?
want to have like some more social simulation but helps them with normal daily tasks, like help them, teach them how to cook. It's really fun and you usually end up with some really good foods. And then that could just spark a new hobby.
Now,
Work
what
with
I
them.
noticed is that you used technology in a fun way. So you looked at a recipe that you liked. You liked the picture of something. You went and researched all of the recipes. You got to learn about it. We went to a supermarket and bought the ingredients,
And
and
then we
then
cooked
we
it.
did it.
Yeah.
But what you did was you created a system where you use technology as well as interaction and connection to create a different skill and to allow it to become part of daily chores or something that's fun. Would you suggest that to parents and what can they do?
Oh yeah. Another thing, if you don't really have the books, you can like real books, physical.
Mhm.
You can go on the internet. Anything. Like there's whole apps that give you free books.
Yeah, there is an
Kindle.
app called www.pdfdrive.com. book.com. It's got over 80,000 free books in any genre.
You can even do personal development with them.
Mm.
That's what VAK does. It helps you figure out your child's learning style, how their brain works. Well, not how their brain works, that's what doctors teach you. But anyway, how they think, their process. Like, ooh, I like this. It's really colorful and fun. And that stimulates visual and kinesthetic because movement and colors. Rubik's cubes, really helpful. Fidget toys, that's amazing for like kinesthetics because movement is always great. Now, you don't have to have over the top movement. You could just have like a fidget cube in one hand while you're doing a speech. Now,
So, what have you been doing unusual? What does your day look like?
I'm actually starting to read more manga
Mm-hmm.
or comic books, visual novels, physical and digital.
Mm-hmm.
Anime, I watch that on like websites. It's pretty fun,
Mm-hmm.
interesting. I do schoolwork on YouTube. I use Crash Course, their courses. I'm currently on History 2, English Literature. Wait, no, that one's finished. There's Mythology. There's a lot. I use Math Antics because that's pretty easy and actually teaches you. Now, the more you learn with your child, the more both of you grow because everyone's learning, everyone's upgrading themselves, everyone's becoming better. You just have to take the initiative and do that and become better with your children. So think about it this way. Let's say you're reading this fantastic book. Even if you don't like books, you might like visual novels. Or if you don't like visual novels, there's literal just audiobooks and games that are adapted from books and stuff. I don't know why I keep on going to books and games.
I was going to ask you.
No,
What about your 3D designing of your um, what is that called again? The thing that you're creating right now with the lighthouse.
oh yeah, you can even build models,
Mm.
kits. Now, it does require a bit of reading of the instructions, or not. You can build it however you want. But the most fun part about building model kits is that it takes a few hours, but it always looks amazing. It may take a few days if you want to go technical and do the painting with the airbrush, but it always looks fantastic.
Mm.
Like even puzzles, like jigsaw puzzles, slider puzzles, do anything that your kid finds as a hobby. Like, let's say your kid has a hobby like building model airplanes, building literal airplanes, RC airplanes. Now, if you try and learn about what their hobby is about, if you work with them, like they can teach you new things as well. Ask them questions, answer their questions. Everything. Just do as much as you can with your kid without smothering them.
Okay. And your final piece of advice?
Give them as much love and affection as they want and need. And always, always have fun with them.
Do you feel loved?
Yes.
That's awesome. Thank you, Mr. Kailash Moore.
Also, if they ask for hugs, always say yes.
Well, thank you so much for taking time and for sharing some of your amazing insights with us. I'm sure that a lot of people will benefit from listening to you.
Also, physical activities like going to bounce and stuff. If your kid likes that, take them.
Okay. Say goodbye to everybody now.
Bye. Enjoy. Have a great day.
Thank